Hi, my name's Mel and you've reached me at my channel Patchy Pony Stitcher. This is a channel all about my stitching journey and an update on my projects. And you may be wondering, wow, I haven't seen her for a long time. It's been 10 months. I'm so sorry that I haven't been back, but I do have a reasonable excuse, and then that excuse doesn't really live up for anymore. So thank you for so much if you are a subscriber and I've popped back up and you've hit play. If you're a new watcher, welcome. I hope there's something here that you enjoy, and I hope that you'd like to come back and see some further updates. So today is the 5th of June 2026. I haven't filmed since 2025. That's how long it's been. Now, because it's been a little while, I may be forgotten of who I am. So as I said, my name's Mel. I live in Tasmania, Australia. I've been stitching since 2019, and I stitched when I was a teenager, and then in my early 20s, and then stopped stitching and came back in 2019, and then started up a Flosstube. So welcome. I've got lots and lots to show you, as I should for 10 months of being away. So I hope you've got some time, and let's get started. So the first reason why I haven't filmed in a while is that I was doing a full coverage as a birth gift for my granddaughter. I didn't want to do a sampler. I wanted something that she could have on her wall for a while. So when I was focused on that, because I was trying to pump that out during the pregnancy, ready for her birth, but it did take a little bit longer than that to get it finished. But I didn't have anything to show you more than just what I was working on. So I stopped filming, and then after Christmas, once I'd finished that and I got back into my other projects, and we went on a big holiday to Europe. So I thought I'll wait till we get back from there. And that was a month and a half ago, and I only just now sitting my butt down and getting up an update for you. So apologies, but life is life, and there is so many great floss tubers out there that I know that you haven't had to go searching for floss tubes. There's heaps out there, which I've been certainly enjoying. I've certainly still been stitching in this whole time, and I've been certainly watching my favourite floss tubers. So let's get started. What is this full coverage, I hear you say? So I'm going to show you a photo of this is the mock-up for the chart. This is off Etsy, and it's called Cowgirl Boots. I'll have to put it in my description. It's been a while since I've actually gone into the pattern, because I finished it in December. So this was the pattern, and now I'm going to show you, because I don't have it obviously to show you, I'm going to show you what it looks like on my granddaughter's wall. So that is the fully framed piece, and I'm just going to zoom in to the piece itself. So this was full coverage, and as you saw on the picture, it also included the background, which I didn't want to do, as I knew I wouldn't certainly get the time. So I've got some hand-dyed 20 count Ada that I did this full coverage on, and I just did the girl, and I love the detail in it. It was really, really tough going. Lots and lots of confetti, as you can imagine, with that dress and also the hair. Hence, I bought the iPad. I bought the iPad especially to buy markup, which has been a game changer. I love working off patterns digitally now. I didn't think I would. So if you've been sitting on the fence about doing markup or pattern keeper, give it a go, especially if you're a full coverage stitcher, because it certainly speeds things up. I can't recommend it more highly that I'm even doing other charts from that. One moment. Now I am going to be trying to do this without editing, so I'm going to be using the pause button where I need to. This is going to be a one shoot wonder, because I don't have the memory on my phone to edit. So bear with me as I bumble through, because you've got to remember I haven't done this for 10 months now. So let's get going. Now I'm going to show you next a fully finished piece that I only finished last week. I did buy a ticket to the spring mingle. I didn't quite get there only because it was such a manic weekend, but I had finished my stitching. I was ready to go. Didn't get to do the class live, which was fine. It was probably better to do it at my own pace because I could pause it as I was going. So I did Kathy Haberman's hands-on design, Do Dragons Fly, and it was great. I've never done a class with Kathy before, but her teaching style is amazing. The instructions were so detailed. It was so good. So here is my finished piece. It's an octagonal pincushion, and it looked daunting, but the stitching was the easy part. I thought it would be really hard to put together. I've done biscornues before, but this was a little bit more tricky because there's so many different edges, but slow and steady wins the race, and we got it done. I did use a opalescent fabric, 36 count and 1/2, which was what was recommended for this project, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. There was a like a tutorial to make some felted dragonflies, but I have bought a little kit, sort of a bit like a Mill Hill kit, but it's coming from Ukraine, which I will show you in the next video when it arrives, and I'm going to make it into a stick pin and have like a beaded dragonfly on display. So that is my fully finish. Right, here comes the WIP parade. I decided I'd do a WIP parade rather than showing a progress video because it's been 10 months and it's been a while. So let's get started. I'm going to put my iPad over there. Now, I've got all my projects out, zips out, no bags. I'm just going to do project by project in no specific order. However, they are not ironed. If I had to iron my projects, this wouldn't have happened. Plus, I don't really like ironing them as it flattens the stitches. So I really only like to iron at the end. So let's get started with Stitchy Box Samplers, the Beatrix Potter Quaker Sampler. This is my project that I have been working on. As soon as I picked it up, it became my one thread a day stitch, and the reason being is that I am doing this on 46 count Fox and Rabbit Duxbury, and I use one long thread of Silks for You silk, and I do one thread. Now this is actually showing it quite dark. It's blowing out the mottling, not only in the fabric, but the actual floss is quite light as well. But you can see superbly the Quakers, which is great. And I really enjoy this. It's a great stitch. It is hard work being 46 count. This is the highest I've ever done. And so I do have to have good magnification, a good light, and I do just the one thread so I can really focus on that. And being that it's quite a long thread, I get quite a bit done, maybe 50 stitches, if not a little bit more out of one thread, because it's one strand over two on the 46 count. Rightio. Next one that's I've pulled is my oldest WIP and probably my least favourite. This is Joan Elliott's A Celtic Welcome. I've had this in my WIP pile from day dot of doing Flosstube, and I just don't enjoy it, but I want the final product. So this one I'm really doing as a product stitcher, not a process stitcher. And this is my progress this way. So I'm doing this on 20 count Aida, one strand of DMC, and I wish I could put this into Pattern Keeper, into markup. I really do, because it is intricate. I need to highlight as I'm going. It has had a bit of work this year because it's come up onto prompts, and it's good to see like an actual definition, especially of the size of it, starting to develop. My only Joan Elliott piece, and because I don't do fancy ladies. There hasn't been one that's really grabbed me as yet. So this is Joan Elliott's Celtic Welcome. Now the next one I'm going to show you is Mojo Stitch's Zelda's Heart. This is from the the Heart for Pam's box that came out in 2023, and it's such a cute little stitch. Nobody has ever measured, not even poets, how much the heart can hold. How true is that? And this, whoops, needle minders clacking together. Now I'm doing this on a 36 count linen, just a scrap I had, and this is using the Country Cottage, no, what are they called? One moment. The Cottage Garden threads. So the pack came with, I bought the charts and I also bought the thread pack that came with these, and so those flowers have a number of different threads in them. It's not just one thread. But I really enjoy this one, and the Cottage Garden threads are lovely to work with. Okay, the next one that came out, as I said, these are in random order, is Beth Twist Heartstring Samplery Choose Your Own Motto Sampler, or the Taco Sampler, some people call it. Just bring that in a bit closer for you. And this is where I'm up to. This is on a 36 count even weave vintage country mocha, one thread with, it has got overdyes, but not necessarily the called for. And this is hard going too, because it's quite a tight weave. Now this has, so what this chart has, it says, all I'm saying is that you never see me crying eating tacos at the same time. That's probably, that's not going to be what I'm going to put in the middle. And I've had this on my thoughts or my radar, what am I going to put in here? And I am a Yellowstone fan. And they've released a new series, a spin-off called The Dutton Ranch. And there was an episode only a couple of weeks ago where the Rip, if you know Yellowstone, you know who I'm talking about. And he said, you can't chase peace, you have to live it. And that really stuck with me, and I thought, and I wrote that down, and I think that's what I'm going to put in there. You can't chase peace, you have to live it. So loving how that's coming along. Now Beth Twist is actually coming to Hobart. How exciting. We are having a retreat in July, run through a stitch in time. So I'm going to get to meet Beth at the end of July, which I'm super excited about. So I would like to sort of put that one aside and get some additional work on that. So I've got that to either work on or put on the finish table. So what's it now, June? Probably not going to get it finished, let's be honest. Okay, next one is Madame Chantilly, Christmas, Celebrate Christmas. Sorry, that glare. Let me just see if I spin that up ways. Okay, just had paused you there for a moment. Still getting the glare. Okay, so Celebrate Christmas, Madame Chantilly. I've had this on my WIP pile for a while, and it's got quite a bit done on it. This is on not an opalescent fabric. It's sort of like got a glitter all sort of on the top, because the other side doesn't have any on it. So this is where I'm currently up to. So I have, because I've used a lighter fabric, I've done a little bit of back stitching around some of the pieces to make them pop a bit. And this is a 32, no, how many is this? How many threads am I using? I'm using 2, so it'll be 32 count. So it'll be 2 threads over 2 on this. And this is hard going too. It's not what I overly enjoy anymore, but I will continue. So I'll sort of just keep it for challenge stitching, that one. Next one I've got is the Blue Flower, the Quilting Bee. Now I have already completed this once. There she is up there already framed. But that was on when I first got back into stitching, and that's on a 14 count Ada, and she turned out pretty big. So this is on a 38 count linen, just a little scrap I had, and I'm just doing the bee only. And I'm sort of going to turn it into sort of like a animal cracker in a way. I am going to sort of make it into a shaped pillow. But I was even thinking about doing the wings, like doing the body and then having the wings separate. And then having the wings so you could actually attach them. Like I might do it on like a canvas, not canvas, you know, the plastic stuff that Mill Hill do. So I can then sort of have them angled. So she'll be sort of 3D. And I'm liking how she's coming along. So that part, her body's nearly finished. Well, her body is finished. So I've got to make the decision about the legs, which I could easily do with, you know, like I would do them. If I'm going to make her 3D, I would do them separately as well. So I need to sort of sit down and work out what I'm going to do with that one. Right, the next one, good luck on pronunciation, because I'm going to give you the English version, which is The Colour of Water. There's quite a number of different colours of these patterns. That is the designer, and if you want to, I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the name. Now I'm doing mine on a 32 count linen. It's a loose linen, and it goes this way. Doing two threads over 2 and DMC. And I'm loving how that's coming out. This does come out more so for challenge stitches. It can get a little bit, again, this would be a great digital one to do because you really have to focus. Can't fudge it because in the long run it would stand out if you'd made an error. But enjoy that one as well. Right, iPad. I have one of my digitals. Okay, so go back up to markup. Let me pause you. Lovely, this pause works really well. Okay, another Beth Twist one is Hope Song, which I got from a Jingle Ball. Was it last year? No, it might have been. I don't know if it's got a date on it. And it says, "My heart remembers hope when the winter bird sings." So I'll just zoom in on the actual stitch. Isn't that pretty? So that's on markup, and this I am doing on a 32 count linen, and this is where I'm currently up to. So it's actually quite big, bigger than what I expected it to be, and I'm doing this as a gift for my mum and using the DMC. So another Beth Twist. I think I've got 3 Beth Twists that I'll be able to take to the retreat because that one won't get finished, but I can certainly work on it. Right. Maria Finney by Shakespeare's Peddler. Now well, the other girls are finished, so I'm dragging my tail along the ground with this one. However, the others are with the Beatrix Potter one, so it sort of works out evenly. Now, I'm not doing this one in its entirety, only because I've got another sampler that has Adam and Eve and the tree, and I'm not an Adam and Eve sampler stitcher, so I wanted to make this a little bit different so to avoid that. And I'm doing this on a 25 count even weave, 1/1. Make sure I'm not holding it upside down, which I am. And this is where I'm up to with my version. So this is an edited version, and I am using some overdyes and some DMC as a 1/1 on 25 count, which again is the first time I've tried that. The other ladies did theirs 2/2, I believe. So theirs are a lot bigger. So again, I'll show you the, so really I've done the top bit and this bit and leaving, but I have pulled the pots as well. So I've got to do the house yet, which is a big feat. So that is my Maria Finney. Next is Bluebirds of Happiness by Cottage Garden. And again, I am adjusting this one. I find it weird that there's a, like, I know it's a birdhouse in the tree, but I'm going to do more blossoms there. I just feel that's a little bit weird. This fabric I really detest. It's a really crunchy 32 count linen. And this is where I'm up to. And I got a rust spot on it. And that's not from a needle. I think it was from a needle minder. But I will cover it, or I will do something to make, because I'm not finishing it after all this work that I've put into this one. So DMC, no, beg your pardon, over dyes with this one as per the chart. And I did it on a hand dyed pink linen, but it is crunchy. Right, we are zooming through. I thought this would take a lot longer. This one is a magazine chart. It's by Emma Congdon, who is Stitch Rovia. And, sorry, the glare is shocking. So this, I saw another floss tuber doing it, and I like reading this in a magazine. I would have skipped past it, but when seeing someone else stitch it, I really liked it. Again, I'm modifying this. I am doing this on a 36 count 1/1. Oh, let me get that needle minder out of the, oh, sorry. Runaway magnet. 32 count 1/1 with just a variegated pink. And I love how that's coming along. It looks so different from, maybe it's the white in this that just makes it look a really stark. So I'm going to only do, I don't want to do the words, so I'm only doing that amount. So I've nearly finished it. I've just will finish in the fence line, and that's when we'll pretty much be done. So that's called Simple Things by Emma Congdon. Oh, this one's nearly finished too. This is The Winter Has Passed by Blackbird Designs. This is my second Blackbird that I've done, and this is on 36 count fabric. And this is used, I bought this as a kit, so it has all the called fors in it. And I love how that is coming along. It's just, the colours are stunning. So really happy to have that nearly finished. It's on my radar to pick up whenever I've got, when I don't have a stitch plan, which I'll talk about later. Okay, the next one I'm doing, I don't actually have a mock-up for it. It was a freebie. It's called it's called Eliza Bryce, and it says it's by Just Stitching Along. I believe Mama Loves You GB, Michelle put this up as a freebie or something, and this is on a 40 count bit of so a scrap that I had. And really all it is different alphabets and so forth. And I've made my own adaptation change. Wherever there's a sampler where I do the alphabet, I switch the M and the L because they're my initials, and that personalizes it just for me. So I'm just going to make a little pillow out of this one. That's probably a fifth being done, so you can see that it will probably come down to about here. Just a sweet little sampler, and I enjoy working on that. zooms along. Another stitch rovia. This is called Eat, Sleep, Craft, Repeat. This is off Etsy, just for my craft room. And I've had this going for ages. It's really just a stitch that I use for prompt stitching. This is on a really soft 20 count aider using DMC, and that's all I've done. It's not overly enjoyable because there's a lot of counting with it, and being 1/1 on 20 count aider, I find that the thread sometimes slips behind the thread, which can be irritating. So I only sort of bring that out for challenge stitches. The next one I have is by Georgia Girls Stitching Design. She does a little bit. She's got a Etsy shop. It's called Life Happens. When life happens, beer helps. So I'm doing this for my husband's man cave because he loves his stout and his Guinness. That is where we're up to. It's sort of blowing out that light green. So I've done the entire border and the hops. This is on a 36 count linen using DMC. Right, nearly there. Autumn Cloche by Hello by Liz Matthews. This girl is a big one. Like, I did not expect this to be as big as it has turned out. And I am doing this on 36 count linen. And I've been going for a fair while on this one. And she's big. Like you can see, I'm really only up to here. So I've only really done this section. She's going to be big. So enjoying that. Using the DMC, not the over dyes for this one. And I am going to... So there's a lot of black with the outlines with the butterflies and the flowers. I've decided to use a darker blue. I wanted to soften it up a bit. And I'm not doing all the spider webs and spiders. I have only done this one. Oh, you can't even really see it. It's on the red pumpkin. And so far in that section, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there would have been 4 spiders in the section that I've done, and I'm only like, so I'm really pulling back on the spiders. I don't want it to be Halloweeny. I want it to be autumny because our autumn falls differently to Halloween. Now, here's my big girl. Oh, heartstring samplery, Consider the Lilies. You've probably seen this a dozen times with other floss tubers. She's a biggin. She is a biggin. And I started this in May 2022. It's never been a full-on focus. I just pick it up as I go here and there, but when I do work on her, I really enjoy doing it because it's like little wins with the motifs. Now this is on a 32 count linen. It's quite soft. Now I'm going to have to stand back just so you can get the whole piece in. So this, oh golly, this is where I am up to. So I'm very close. Oh, probably 3/4 done really in reality. So loving how this is coming along. She's huge. It's going to cost a bomb to get this one framed. So this is my other sampler that I was talking about that has the Adam and Eve on it. So I'm going to do some modifications again. I'm going to clothe Adam and Eve, and I'm not going to do the snake. I'm taking out these angels and replacing them with more ponies. Have I done that yet? No, I've left it vacant. So that's where the angel would go. And I've put my own, so this is a sampler for me, and it's more just like a home sampler. It's flowers and animals, and I didn't want it to be religious. I haven't put the the wording in, and it does say, consider the lilies of the field, they neither toil nor spin. But I will put something about home in there, that once I find the right saying, and also the right length, because it needs to sort of go the whole body of that sampler. So that would be nice also to work on at the retreat in July when Beth Twist is there. It would be nice to be able to hold it up and have Beth Twist in the photo. So exciting. I cannot wait for that. Okay, my next one is Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. This is my first Teresa Kogut. When I was at a retreat, I bought the silks. I bought a silk pack and she overdyes them. And now I'm not going to be able to, oh, hang on. I thought I've stuck the, isn't that terrible? Vicky Clayton. I bought the Vicky Clayton silks, and this is where I'm up to with that. This is on a 36 count 1/2, and I've got a long way to go, and it's enjoyable. I quite enjoy this piece when I pick it up. So I'm going to do the whole entire border first, and then go in and do the middle bit and the house. And this just says, when you see me, remember me. When this you see, remember me. And it has the alphabet. So I'll probably keep that as is. Now, my very final project, which I will have to show you on markup, because this is my full coverage. One moment, sorry. This is the only thing about markup, is that you need to go in, and so this is the picture, the mock-up, and this is called The Gift. So this is a charted watercolor of an Anzac. So this is like a war memorial piece with the poppies, the Anzac hat, and the horses that served in the war. Now, because this is on my frame, I need to show you on here rather than, because I cannot move. So this is currently where I'm up to. Oh, that light, what a pain. That's currently where I'm up to, and it doesn't really do it justice on that. Let me just turn that light off for a minute and see if that, so that's where I'm up to on that. Still a long ways to go. Just turn that light back on. So that is all my projects that I have currently. I didn't count them. I don't need to know. Really don't need to know. So what else have I got on my list to talk about? Oh, my future fun. So since I've been doing markup, I have a few new projects, but they're on my iPad. So what have I purchased? So after being in Amsterdam, Liz Matthews had released this Delft one, so I had to buy that. That is really pretty. So that was from her Patreon. So I joined her Patreon for 2 months, and while I was there, I picked up 2 more of the trees for the 12 days of Christmas, because I'm doing those. So I picked up day 4 and also day 5 with a discount, which was really good, and very happy to put those into markup, because it means, because sometimes they're a little bit tricky too, I find. And that was the other one. That's day, that must be day 4, because there's 4 birds. So I've got those to do. And I picked up something else. Oh, that's right. I saw a floss tuber doing this one and I quite liked it. So using all different DMC, so I purchased that one as well. I thought, and this is all black work. Oh, it doesn't really give you a good, even when I zoom in, that's all or back stitch, I'm not sure what you call it. And then because I was Patreon for Liz, I also grabbed that one, which is quite pretty. I like those flowers. And from Spring Mingle, I picked up Jacob's little sampler because I haven't done one of his before, and this one being smaller is a little bit more enticing to give it a go. And it's quite pretty. It's just got the flowers and the heart, and the border's quite intense, but I think I'll enjoy that. And the paper future fun I got was this one called the Golden April from Summer House Stitchworks. I saw a floss tuber, I think it was Fat Cat Flossing, she showed it, and I'm like, I have to have that. My husband's an aprer, so I am drawn to charts with bees. So I bought that one from Coco Stitchery in Brisbane. I'm in Tassie because she had this in stock and I loved it. So no one chart can travel alone. So I also picked up a Brenda Gervais. She can be a bit tricky to find in Australia. So when you see a Brenda Gervais, you snavel those up. So I also got that one, which was quite pretty. Home is a garden of blessings where love grows and memories bloom. So that is my future fun. And I've already got a whole basket of kitted projects. So I don't know when any of these are going to start. Now, the only other thing that I wanted to update you on is I'm before my full coverage piece, the Cowgirl, I was very much a challenge stitcher. I followed a few games and I would do 300 stitches here, 300 stitches there. And typically that meant a different project every day. Since I was monogamous, I really enjoyed doing that and seeing some really hard progress come through. And since then, I've sort of been floundering along. I am doing one challenge group through Divas Down Under, where it's a one project to work on during the week. So you've sort of preempted which projects will be for what prompt, and then that's called every Sunday, and I have to do a minimum of 300 stitches, but my rule is essentially, well, not my rule, what I find myself doing is that I will do one thread a day on my Beatrix Potter, and then I will just use that one project from that call to do all week, unless I get bored or unless I hit a major milestone on it and I feel like I want to do something else and I've completed the 300 stitches. And I'm finding that one project a week is seeing some good progress for me, and I'm enjoying seeing that coming along. So I thought I might do my own little challenge for myself, and I'm calling it the Fortnightly Floss Off. So coming into July, so my birthday is in July, so I thought I'll start it at the beginning, and there's 26 fortnights, a 2-week period in the year. So I am going to use one letter from a Tiny Decisions app. So I don't know what letter is going to be picked for each fortnight essentially, but each letter will be picked from A through to Z throughout the year until next July 2027 when I turn 50. So I want to get as much work on these projects and essentially I'd like to have in my 50th year another type of challenge. I don't know what that will be yet. So what I'm going to do is, so for example, if C gets picked, I will do a project that the title begins with the letter C, like Consider the Lilies. Or if I've got one where the designer, like Chantilly, Madame Chantilly, So I'm only doing it on the title and also the designer name, not like, oh, there's a cat in the project. It is going to be purely by designer name. So I thought I might see if you'd like to join me. I am going to do it with a Facebook group. I'm going to start a Facebook group, and I'll have more about this in a coming video. But I am going to do it with a prize at the end of it. Because it will be my 50th birthday when it finishes, and who doesn't like a prize? So I thought I was going to do a $50 voucher for either an Australian AUD $50 voucher for an Australian store, or 50 AUD for Etsy, or 50 AUD for 123 Stitch. So anyone around the world can join in, and we'll have some progress photos and cheer each other along. So I'm going to be calling this Fortnight Floss Off. So I'm going to do a separate video a bit closer, like maybe in a fortnight's time, giving some more info about the Facebook group, some more information about how it's all going to run. So I would love you to join me in my fortnightly floss off beginning July 1. So if you would like to have more information, just hit your subscribe button and also your notification bell, which will tell you when I am going to be doing my next video, and that will prompt you to get all the details. So I think that's just about it for me for today. I have rambled on a lot, and having a cold at the moment hasn't helped with that. But I had to get this out because I wanted to do an update on all my projects before I did the fortnightly floss off video. So it has been fantastic to re-engage. I hope you do leave a comment. For me, when I visit a floss tuber, I don't always have anything to say, but I want to go, hi, I came in and watched it. I leave 3 little ponies for Patchy Pony. So I would love it if you would leave even just an emoji for me, or a comment. I would love to see a comment, but leave me a little emoji, and we will catch up very soon in a fortnight. See you guys.